Hello everyone, Watch Us Review here with a look at the Toyman from the DC Direct Justice League, Series 8. Now this is the look, well, kind of the look that he sported as a member of the Legion of Doom, back from the Super Friends cartoon, and also, I guess, in the Justice book. I think that was the one where Brainiac implants these memories or dreams or something in a bunch of villains that makes them think that the superheroes won't be able to save the world, so they band together and do a bunch of stuff. I could have it mixed up though, although I believe this is also the look that he sported in the Batman Superman Public Enemies movie, so hold on a second and I'll get him out of box. Okay, so I guess I kind of had my wires crossed. After looking at the box, it turns out that this is actually the robot that he built to fight against the Justice League, and that one scene that I remembered with a giant robot tearing like the top of a museum or something was actually from the Justice, I guess it was a limited series or whatever, and not the Public Enemies movie. Public Enemies movie, I think he was a kid in that one, so, or it was a different Toyman, but you know, it's a guy who calls himself the Toyman. Now, as for the figure itself, now, personally, I thought this was a must-buy simply because we've yet to have a DC Universe Classics Toyman, so this definitely fills an essential hole in the lineup. Plus, you know, in terms of articulation, there's a pretty wide range here, which, you know, is a little bit uncharacteristic of the DC Directs, which I've come to associate with, you know, more being artistic than articulation, although both have art in them. But as you can see, the Toyman here has some really cool articulation, including all these little ball joints throughout. Kind of reminds me of the stuff like the Rebel Tech lines and stuff. You'll also notice that even the head rotates here, and that it's also on what looks to be a ball. Well, there it goes. Oh, he's crazy. Imagine you'd probably turn that around to get the head to go forward back, but I'll have to fool around with that for a little bit. Now, honestly, the first thing I thought when I saw this figure was I was wondering whether or not these little strings could actually let you use him as a marionette. And unfortunately, they cannot, although, you know, you can kind of get the limbs to move and stuff. I mean, there's really not enough support unless the joints really incredibly loosen on you to get them to all just move on their own. You'd actually have to hold part of the body to do it, but we are having fun right now, aren't we? Whoa! Yeah. But I mean, these little cords or strings or whatever do make him sort of handy for just hanging off something. You know, probably will be cool for just random posing, but in terms of paintwork, it's just a solid glossy black. This white portion for the eyes, and the rest of the body is this sort of glossy wood, which honestly looked a bit more realistic in pack than outside it. Now the fact that we have these little screw things here in the joints just add to the charm of this, because, you know, it looks like he actually is a toy. And this is one of the few times where you can get away with just having incredibly visible joints. Because, you know, again, he's supposed to look like a toy because he is. So yeah, I really like this one. Quick run through of articulation, although you'll probably be able to guess it, but we have rotation at the wrist and everything with a little ball joint. You know, the wrist actually rotates. You have the ball joint here, etc. Then we have another ball joint here, the elbow. Ball jointed shoulder with, again, rotation. Now the ball's sort of lined up so it'll only go sort of one way at a time, so you have to like move it out, then switch it. I mean, it's not like as fluid as other ball joints are. You can definitely feel like a little bit of resistance in all these parts. I still can't figure out how to get the head ball joint moved, but as you can see, it rotates fine. Goes side to side. Again, ball joints here at the leg. Goes out in one direction, then you have to kind of rotate it. You know, it just doesn't feel as loose as other ball joints do. Knee, same thing. Again, all this rotates. Then down here at the ankle, same deal. So, very cool. No foot pivot though. All in all, you know, very cool addition to a collection. It's a character that I expect a few people might not care too much about, but you know, he's kind of a cool, fluky-ish villain. Now, he came with this stand or base here. I'm really not sure what the deal with this is, but it looks like these little peg things pop in here. And from the portions below, I guess it's just for tankering those small pegs, which makes no sense because they could have just punched out on top and then did that instead of giving us these stupid separate things. But I don't know if this is supposed to like connect like any of the other stands or something, so there might be a pretty good reason for this that I'm not aware of. But all in all, definitely like this. Would probably recommend him. Very cool. But once again, this has been the DC Direct Series 8 Justice League Toyman. Until next time, folks.